Good early morning, everyone. I'm back with our video working and our internet working. Today's a big day. It's FOMC day. We have NASDAQ. This is going to be a quick show. Not a lot to talk about, but a couple interesting ideas nonetheless. So stay tuned. So FOMC today, 2 p.m. Expectations are no interest rate increase, no interest rate decrease. This is all going to be about Jerome Powell's commentary, bullish or dovish or hawkish. In the meantime, you can see earnings here. Microsoft down 0.7%, Google 6%, AMD down 5%. We had SMCI have that blow off top. All right, that all translates into QQQ. Here we go. QQQ being down 1% ahead of FOMC. I'm looking at this chart and I'm thinking we're way above that 20 DMA. We can use a correction to that 20 DMA. You can see RSI hit overbought at 70 and now it's like starting to point downwards. SPY, similar chart. So I'm thinking, regardless, I could be wrong, but regardless of what Powell says, I think there's a chance we can retrace to about the 20 DMA on QQQ SPY. Now, I think the index to what's said about interest rates. So IWM and ARKK, we're looking at TLT here at that key level now, 95.57. It's slightly above it today. RSI is pointing upwards, like it wants to go up, like they're expecting Powell to be dovish. So maybe TLT, IWM, and ARKK can have more kind of logical reactions to Powell being dovish, whereas I worry that QQQ is overbought, and even if it's dovish, we could continue to see that correction in the 20 DMA. So that's my take on that. The ERs, again, Microsoft, Google, AMD, Boeing, nothing to write home about on any of these. If you're in a chat room, you saw that I took small bets in Novo Nordisk and Starbucks. That are the ones that were showing earnings, and I did that because Starbucks has been down, and it broke the 20 DMA a day before earnings. Plus, economy's been strong, and man, I just discovered on vacation how much my wife loves Starbucks. I always knew that, but really got to appreciate it more. Willing to wait in long lines, just like everybody else. It's just crazy how people are addicted to Starbucks. So I did take a small bet. Not going to make a kill. I mean, I'll make 100% on the options, but I only put a little bit in. And Novo Nordisk was the other one I took a small bet in. They had earnings this morning. It was mixed results, but the expectations for the blockbuster drug, the Wegovy, I think it's called, the GLP-1 agonist, were good, above expectations, I would say, on there. But overall, mixed results. That's why you're not seeing it boom. This is at 52-week high already. I own it in my IRA, own it long term. We'll see. I don't know if I'll make money on that. I have like a 115 call options, just a couple $100 worth, nothing, just to play. All right. So that being said, let's move in to see what we're doing today. I would say probably not much at all. Okay. I continue to like uranium and Zim are two of these swings I really like that we've been talking about. Where's MSauce? MSauce I also like, but kind of less so today. I've noticed MSauce kind of moves as a risk asset a little bit more than the other two. Uranium, Zim, and MSauce. So I continue to like these swings, and we could see these outperform. We could see these as I play musical chairs here. We could see these outperform today or just have relative strength amidst a market pullback. However, I want to note some a white swan risk, I'll call it, with Zim, as the Iranian-backed groups are backing off. The one that attacked the U.S. backing off, saying, "Oh, we're going to stop our attacks," and also a little bit of traction I'm hearing in terms of Israel-Hamas ceasefire. So if something like that happens, like Zim could be, out of it could break the chart. So I'm looking for a breakout towards 16 to 20 is what I'm looking at. Man, this chart looks absolutely spectacular to do that. And actually, if you go to a line chart, it's easier to see. We close at an not all time, well, 150. Is it a 52 week? We close at whatever in this run, right? In this run, this is the highest we've closed. And that's easier to see on a line chart than it is to see on let's go back. Oh, now I lost it. Come on. Let's get to, here we go. Okay, that's easier to see on a line chart than it is to see on, there we go. Now we got it back on the hollow candles. That being said, you can see that higher low. You can see the breakout level there at 1537. What did we hit yesterday? We hit 1504. So 1504, 1537. We got to break that. And then 16 to 20. That could happen on maybe a dividend announcement or something, or pre-announcement, something like that. We could get there in like one candle in one day. So, but just be aware of that white swan risk with Zim. And uranium just looks good technically. We love the fundamental story. We gave you that 20 DMA. It bounced right off of it. It was also gap fill. The RSI reset. So technically, uranium looks good for a move to 58. You can play this with CCJ as well. CCJ has much tighter bid asks. Maybe the options pricing are better too. If you're doing options, I'm not sure. But this one looks like it's curling back to where, uranium was, like 50, 51 up there. Okay. So those are in play, I think. But as far as like specific catalysts today, I'm going to point out like 3 like trading vehicles if you're a good trader and you love the volatility and you love that liquidity. So there's 3 interesting things here. SEDEX, GHSI, Para, okay? And then we're going to call it a day. Actually, I should mention that. GM, just noteworthy that it's strong this morning and missed a market pullback with good earnings yesterday. Maybe it could have follow through. I just mentioned that. Okay. So these little risky penny stock kind of plays. Well, aside from Para is a big company, Paramount Global, $9 billion. They received a buyout offer from Byron Allen, which translates to a little over $21 a share. Okay, so maybe some opportunity here, even now at 15. Apparently, he made an offer for part of the company in the recent past, which was rejected, and that's why you're not going to see this jump to $20 right away. But this is maybe something where the dips can be bought today. PARA. All right, I'm playing a little bit of that, trading a little bit of that. Now, a couple penny stocks. GHSI up 75%. So GHSI sells an asset for $17 million. The market cap $6 million. The EV going into today was negative, right? Which basically is an indicator that they don't have, I don't think they have much debt. I didn't look at the debt specifically, but basically I looked at the EV to kind of make sure, hey, 17 million cash coming in, how should that impact the market cap? And all things being equal, it should impact it the way you think it should impact it. That the market cap should go up by $17 million. However, caveat, which I don't know, is how important was that business to the revenue? How much revenue or future growth are they potentially losing by selling this one asset for 17 million? I don't know the answer to that. That's why I can't give you a big, buy recommendation on this. But I think it is noteworthy that EV was basically zero, slightly below zero this morning, and then 17 million coming in. So that's why the stock is up 75%. I wish I had the time to look into the revenue situation or how important this business unit is that they're selling, so we can have a more emphatic recommendation on this. If that's something you want to look into, go ahead. But nonetheless, I do think you're going to see dips bought. There's another support here at $8 over here. You can see a small support at $8.80. So like $8.80, $8, and then down here at $7.60. I don't know where it's going to bottom out, but any of those 3 levels, it might bottom out and then rocket a few dollars. Like that's the kind of action that I think you'll see in GHSI today. And then SEDEX, a little disappointing. Okay, I got into this at like 4 and it flew to 480. I didn't sell it yet. Did I? No, I didn't put a limit order in. Flew to 480. SEDEX has always been a tough one, but 500,000 volume, pretty noteworthy here. So this morning, it's not in Webull, but it's in the story trading app. I think I put it as a nugget. Okay, there we go. SEDEX receives $3.8 million. There it is, a data mine, $3.8 million for 2 advanced industrial services projects. This is not something that's a fundamental game changer because, are they going to make a profit on this? Probably not, But $3.8 million on a $3.8 million market cap, to me, that's something that the traders will jump on, and they did. Question is it going to last? And I'm not going to stay around that long to find out. Was not surprised to see the move to 480. I was just thinking maybe it could get a 5.6 pre-market. It didn't yet, but that's something for you to consider as a quick in and out trade. SEDEX. So we don't really have a lot of good, solid kind of things you want to hold all day long, aside from the swings from before, like uranium, ZIM, MSOS. Those are swings that are active. And then maybe some trades in SEDEX, Power, GHSI makes sense. But basically what I'm saying is stay out of Dodge today. I've been raising cash ahead of FOMC. I kind of got lucky. I didn't expect the big cap tech earnings. There was really nothing to note. None of these companies really beat estimates. Estimates were already very high. I think AMD missed a little bit. So I was a little bit lucky that I was selling because of FOMC. And now I have cash ahead of this QQQ pullback. So we'll see what happens. And I'll be ringing the register on Starbucks at the open on those few call options I have. All right. So that's kind of it. I would say there's no kind of clear top pick today other than hold those swings, looking for outperformance. The only reason I kind of have uranium ahead of ZIM is because of that white swan risk that, who knows, could come any moment. You never know. Ceasefire agreed to, Houthis agree not to attack, just like that Iraqi IRGC group, Iranian-backed group. That could happen, and then that'll be a problem for ZIM. Whereas uranium, I don't think has that risk today. So that's all I got. All right. It's kind of sit on your hands day today, unless you're just doing a little bit of in and out trading on some of these volatile names. All right. Take care, guys. I'll try to give some feedback probably at 2:30 after I hear Pal in the chat room. Take care. Have a good day.